and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
And we saw the Avengers.
Avengers Infinity War.
We saw it.
War. Infinity War.
No spoilers.
Infinity War. We saw that 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
yesterday.
9 o'clock on a Saturday. Because I like to go to movies really early because it's not as crowded.
Yeah.
And then you have your whole day to do whatever you want.
Yes, you do.
Which was kind of exciting.
Shout out. And, well, I don't know. Do they have other movies running that early, right?
You know, I don't know if they... sometimes, I think it depends on the theater, but Beach City seems to have stuff at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so we... that was really... dope.
Yeah,
because,
we did not see it in 3D.
No, I don't see it in 3D. I don't need to see it coming at me. I get it. I think the only movie I remember seeing...
We saw Drive Angry in
Drive
3D,
Angry.
Because that was the only option. I saw How to Train Your Dragon in 3D.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I've seen many movies in 3D. I'm literally can only... as far as, like, contemporary movies, like maybe when I was a kid, maybe I saw something in 3D.
Sure.
I don't remember, but as far as... like the actual current 3D experience, I think Drive Angry might be the only one.
I think Drive Angry, How to Train Your Dragon, and I feel like I might have seen one other one that
Did you see Avatar like that? I didn't see
No,
Avatar
I didn't see Avatar in the theater.
Okay, neither did I.
I don't know, I feel like there's one
Or did
more.
I? No, I didn't.
I didn't. I feel like there's one more that I saw in 3D, and it gives me a headache. It strains my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can't remember too many movies I saw in 3D.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really fucking matter because it doesn't matter. I don't care.
No, I don't want to see it.
I'm good without it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we saw Avengers and
no spoilers.
no spoilers. No spoilers.
So we're not going to say. What I am going to say. I realized it was super long. I don't know if I felt like it was super long.
Oh, I did.
You did.
I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, for
Granted,
me,
it was 9 o'clock in the morning.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning.
We literally woke up, took a shower, and went to the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And I didn't get to have any coffee.
No, we didn't have any coffee, which was such a bummer. We could have had coffee there, but their coffee's not very good.
No.
Yeah, so I personally didn't feel like it was super long. I do feel, because I realized the way it ended is because we are setting up the second movie.
Right.
Okay? I get it. I don't like that. I would have rather had this been released as like a 5-hour extravaganza with an intermission in the middle.
That would be
And
nice.
you could have charged me for more. That would have been fine. I would have paid double ticket price because it's technically 2 movies.
Yeah.
I think I would have appreciated that better because I don't want to wait another year to see this.
That's more money, too.
Yeah.
That's like the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you want to make
I don't want to wait another year because you know what's going to happen and be like, wait, what happened in the first one? And you know I'm not going to go watch it again.
No.
And I don't know if a lot of people are. I mean, maybe some are, but for me, I would have rather had it just be one big, huge movie. Give me an intermission in the middle, and then let me go back. And because I missed that typical, like, super pumped, like, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It kind of was a bummer at the end.
Well,
understandably, because we're setting up the next movie.
The way that and the way that the source material goes too, it is kind of a bummer, and I do appreciate that sort of decision to do that and have us go into the next, the next part of the movie, and in the Marvel universe, the MCU, as being like, oh, well, this happened. This is a bummer.
Yeah.
So now we got to deal with that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to have seen it. I don't know where I really was going to go with this, but it was interesting too because when you watch the movie, it's Thanos' movie.
Yes.
And that's something that kind of occurred to me partway through, and I was like, oh shit, this is like about Thanos.
Yeah, this is his movie.
Which is actually kind of great because we already know all those other dipshits.
Yeah, we already know the heroes.
All these other
We've
Marvel
seen
characters.
Their struggles.
And Thanos has shown up a few times and been like, bleh. Yeah, but this is where we get to really see what's up with him. At least in terms of like his current motive, his current path.
We really get a motivation for him.
Yeah, we get
a reason for his motivation, which I appreciate.
They do, yeah, and they don't really go too depth into some of the other stuff that I'm used to when I read Thanos. When I'm reading about Thanos, but there's some beats they hit, some stuff that they hit too, which is what I love about these Marvel movies, that there's moments that you'll be watching these movies and they'll hit like a panel or just something from a source material that is just it's just fucking cool.
Yeah, because
you're like, oh, I remember where that came from.
Right.
And there is some stuff with Thanos for people that are fans of Thanos. You'll be on the lookout for it if you've read it. I don't want to give anything away, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
At least in my mind, it is. I mean, I know some people, hopefully, for us old nerds, we appreciate it. I will say the things I liked about it. I mean, I liked some of the difficult choices they made. I mean, just very, like, hey, we're not fucking around here.
No. So, and that is evident from the very beginning of the movie.
The very beginning.
That there are not going to be any punches pulled. They are not fucking around. And they're not going to spare people's feelings for any reason whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, they don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Which I really appreciate.
Yeah. They don't give a shit.
Because a lot of times they'll be like, no, we can't do that. The fans will be upset. This movie's like, fuck you. Right. I don't care. This is how this goes. Which I really appreciated. I did. I was like, okay, so they've got the balls to do this.
Yeah. There's that, and then there's also...
I was going to say, they also have... the trust of the audience because they've built it up for so long that that even though shit's going down, shit's probably in the second one gonna work out.
Maybe
maybe who knows? We don't know.
See where it's headed.
But at the same time, it's like, well, all right, you can. It's not like DC where if DC did this, you'd be like, wait. You guys haven't done shit yet.
DC tried to do it within 2 movies.
That's the problem.
They went from like Man of Steel and then they're like, oh, there's Batman. Now fucking Superman's dead. Okay, guys, everybody start crying. Get ready for Justice
like, whoa,
League.
Like, hold on. Let's back up.
Get out of here.
Like, no one's invested in this shit.
It's like, nobody cares.
In Marvel, you're like, okay, I'm invested in this. I trust you. You've been working towards this. All right, let's see where we're going to go.
Yeah. And then also I was going to say,
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. Trying to think. There was something I was going to say about... There was a lot of tension because that the mission of the movie is for Thanos to find all those stones.
Sure.
And he starts out the movie, I think he has like 2.
I think he might only have 1 at the beginning.
Is it just 1?
Yeah.
However, though, the problem with that is there's also like you spend some of this movie trying to figure out like, okay, so they put this one here and this one here. When did this one go there? Like, I
really could have used a primer on like where they all were.
Yeah,
some of them they're like, they're like these stones are on Earth, and I'm like, wait, who has which ones now? Right,
like I know. Obviously, there's
like Vision has one, obviously. Doctor Strange has one, obviously.
Well, actually, I didn't remember that.
Really?
For some reason that slipped my mind. Where they're like, I got the stone here in the Eye of Agamotto, and I'm like, he does.
Oh, yeah. No,
for some reason, I didn't remember that.
I did remember that. I was like, oh, that's right. He has an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vision has an Infinity Stone. That is not a spoiler.
But then there's like, they're like, oh, the Collector has one.
Which I kind of remember.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I thought they stole it from him.
That's what I forgot because it was like, okay, at the end of Guardians, here's the thing. I haven't watched any of these movies again, except for Iron Man and Civil War.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't remember most of like what's going on, like except vaguely. So I was like, okay, I remember at the end of Guardians, there is an Infinity Stone and there is a dance off.
Right, but then they get it
back. Did that go to the Collector? I don't remember.
See, that's the thing. I couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember where it went.
Where that went to.
And I'm like, it must have.
Too, or I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, where did that stone go? I don't even remember where it went.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. And there was another one too. Well, the one with fucking. I'm just gonna call him Yoda.
Yeah.
Credit to our friend
Nick Prom.
Nick Prom, friend of the show, from Comic Reflections. Fucking Yoda is hanging out.
I forgot that completely.
That's when I started falling asleep.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
At first I was like, that's not the same. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, I don't remember that, but okay. But again, that movie came out in like 2009 or something, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's something
Since.
from years ago. Yeah,
and I was like, oh.
Granted, that's the thing. That's how long these movies have been.
That's the
out.
thing, because we were talking about that. We're like, we saw the first Iron Man in theaters.
Yeah.
We went on a date to see that.
Yeah, that was like when we first started getting.
That's when we first got together. We have been together for a decade.
Us and the Avengers. The Avengers should come to like a dinner with us to celebrate.
They really should.
Guys, you want to go to like?
We've been together. Yeah, because I remember that. I was like, oh man, we're gonna go see this movie together.
Yeah.
And we bought tickets and we went to see Iron Man.
Because Iron Man was the start of it, and then Hulk came out. Which I didn't see, but
we didn't
I know
see
that.
Hulk, no.
But that doesn't make any sense to see it though.
No, because it's not technically canon.
It's not technically canon except for the shit at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Yeah, nobody cares.
But yeah, I mean, obviously everybody's going to see it.
Yeah.
If they're listening to the show, they probably already have or have plans to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Well, actually, I want to say real quick, this for things that really annoyed me was the humor.
There were parts where it was perfect.
There were parts, yes.
There were parts where the humor was perfect. There is one specific scene, which I know we have already talked about, but I'm not going to mention it outright. There's a specific scene where you have this very touching emotional moment.
Yeah. But
it's absolutely spoiled.
Right.
At the end by just dumb bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I got to say overall, like, Drax.
Yeah.
Like, they've taken it to. They started this with Guardians 2, and they're just kind of running with it, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. It got too much because Drax in the first Guardians was funny because he took everything literally.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, that's funny, and it's like one of those things that they didn't realize how funny it was going to be, so then they doubled down on it. They doubled down on it in the second movie.
Yeah,
which was like, okay, that's not technically how it was, but all right, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and
then this one, you're just like, oh, Drax is just dumb.
Yeah,
he's. It's not that he takes everything literally. He's literally a moron.
Yeah, I think he's
I think that's the problem. Now we've gone to Drax as a complete idiot.
So it's kind of hard for me because that's the thing. It's like now it's hard for me to be like, well, this character has like these strong convictions to seek, revenge and just being Drax.
He's just stupid.
Now he's just an idiot.
Yeah,
and that just really frustrates me, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But then whatever, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I mean, Dave Bautista, I think he deserves a little bit better. I
kind of wish they would find a balance between where he was in 1 and where he was in 2.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed him when he was taking everything very literally. Because there's so many weird turns of phrase in the English language that to an outsider make no sense. Yeah. And to just keep hitting him with those and having him react to them or having him say them backwards or misusing them, I think is very funny.
Yeah.
Because he takes everything literally.
Yeah.
But now you have him just kind of weird and wacky. I'm not a fan.
I mean, like in the first movie when it's like, oh, this is over your head. It's like nothing go over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
That was fantastic. That was great. I loved it.
Yeah, no, but now they're just being stupid, and they're doing stuff with Groot, and Groot's a teenager,
Yeah, which is fine.
Whatever.
That didn't bother me.
There's some stuff where he, proves to be useful and stuff, but it's just. I don't know. There's a Stan Lee cameo. They get that out of the way pretty early.
Yeah.
Thankfully, and it's not anything where it's like, "Hey, I'm here, guys."
No, I think that was a pretty good cameo, actually.
Pretty good cameo. I kind of hope that given
the one in Ragnarok was garbage.
Yeah.
Where he's like the barber.
Yeah.
That was stupid. This one's good.
This one was perfect, yeah.
And the one in Homecoming.
It makes sense because
good
the one in Homecoming and the one in this one could actually be, you could actually kind of trace that thread of him being a citizen.
Uh-huh.
And him make those things work.
It could be the same character.
It could all be the same character. Yeah. However, I do hope though that there's a moment, and I'm disappointed that there wasn't anything going on in, at the end, the way that it ends, and it's just a bunch of Stan Lees being involved. that would have been really funny, because that's actually would have been a great promo.
Yeah,
a great. That would have been a great cameo where he's just like, I don't want. It sucks because I don't want to spoil it.
I know.
I just want to be like Excelsior, and then
Yep.
whatever.
Oh, that would have been funny, actually.
Because then everybody would be like, "Oh shit, it happened." So yeah, but you go check it out. It's worth your time. Because it's Avengers.
I would say for me, like if I was going to give it a letter grade, I'd give it like a B-.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably go B+, if not A-.
I think just for me, the reason it's a B- is because I really don't want to wait for the next one.
Yeah, I think that is frustrating.
That's what's frustrating for me. It's not, and I know that's kind of a shitty thing to do to like knock it down because of that.
I don't want to wait.
Yeah, but that's really where I am. I was like, okay, watch this, and now I have to wait, and I don't like it. So
I don't want to wait.
I don't want it.
No, actually, neither do I.
Yeah.
Because now I wanted to see the rest of it.
Yeah, I just want to see the whole thing.
All the ones that are coming out, I want to see them now.
Yes.
And then all these people, I just want to see them now and just want to be like, okay.
Yeah, and be like, all right, I saw those things.
All right, we're good.
Those are things I saw.
Now I can move on the rest of my life.
Obviously, there is a tag.
Yeah, there's a tag. Yeah.
Of course, at the end, you want to make sure you stay for that.
I thought we were going to get one.
I didn't. You know what? That would have been a fucking boss move if they did that. They're like, fuck you, no tag. But they did, and it's good. I was kind of excited about it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of exciting.
Yeah, we got some. They're going in a direction.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we'll see how that happens. Yeah. So I guess that's it on Infinity War part. It's not even really part 1. Is the second one called Infinity War Part 2, or they could call it like?
There's a different. They have a different name for it, and I can't remember what it's called.
Infinity Fight.
Yeah.
Infinity.
I will say though, there is a moment at the climax where Thanos says something to one of the characters, and I was like, "It's fucking badass." That was just so great, and I loved it.
Oh, you'll have to remind me.
I will remind you when we take our break. I'll tell you.
Oh.
But I saw that and I was like, "That's right."
I think I might know.
That's fucking great.
I'm vaguely remembering because I was half asleep watching this movie. I was falling asleep. It was kind of like I'm gonna get cozy. I
was awake.
I don't know what my problem was.
Really, because it's a very intense movie.
But I was tense. But then I was also like parts where I was like, I'm just gonna sleep. And then I woke up. I was
where
like,
we saw Yoda.
Yeah. That was that. I was just like, you know what?
That was fucking weird.
I'm out.
Because I was just like, I don't remember.
I was actually thinking about trying to get like kind of cozy. Just like,
I'm glad we didn't go to the one with the reclining.
Oh, I would have been.
You would have been out completely.
If I was in a reclining seat, if I was in a like a fancy seat, I would have been asleep. I would have been asleep if it was that early in the morning.
I think telling me no more movies at 9:00.
No, we'll keep doing it. I just think
I like an early morning movie.
I enjoyed it too.
And I'm a morning person.
There were a bunch of kids there still, but it was but it was kind of funny because you see actually some kids.
There was a kid I was laughing at. He was very funny because there was this family sitting in front of us. Mom, dad, 2 kids going to see Infinity War. Kid super psyched for it, right?
Yeah.
The Deadpool trailer comes on.
Oh, that's right, Deadpool too, yeah.
Not the red band one, actually, obviously, but the Deadpool trailer comes on. And it's funny, of course. And this kid's just like, hey, Dad. And the dad's like, what? And he's like, I didn't laugh at that at all because you wouldn't let me see Deadpool. And I was like, he's got a fucking attitude and I like it. I thought that was really funny.
Oh, man. I'm actually looking forward to that. That is Rob Delaney, by the way.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Rob Delaney.
He who plays Peter.
Peter, just
he
the
looks
guy
too fat, though.
Well, maybe he put on some weight for it. I don't know.
I guess. I always assumed Rob Delaney was he's tall, but I always assumed him to be a bit thinner.
Yeah, maybe he put some weight on for it, or maybe they CGI'd him.
Oh, they CGI'd fat?
I don't know.
Well, they'll do anything.
I haven't seen a picture of him in a while.
Oh, is he Gary Oldmaning it?
He might be. That might be a fat suit.
Guys, it's very important in this Deadpool movie. We have Rob Delaney, comedian Rob Delaney, in a fat suit.
I'm actually very excited for Deadpool.
Yeah,
which is next month. Fuck.
I know. I thought it wasn't until November.
I did too.
Well, because what happened was they released this poster, which I think was actually around November. And it was around Thanksgiving, and they had a picture of them all like at a Thanksgiving table.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, "Oh, this is coming," and I was like, "Oh, okay, so it's coming in November."
Yeah.
But then apparently it's coming out in May.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, great, all right, great, I'll go see it." Yeah.
What I noticed about that trailer, because I saw obviously like the red band one where there's swearing and blood. There's that one part where Cable starts shooting at him.
Yeah.
And he's got his swords. And he's like, "Come on, One-Eyed Willie," and they start like doing the thing, and they show it from the side, and in the red band trailer, you can see the blood going behind Deadpool as he gets hit. In the trailer we saw in the theater, there was no blood.
Oh, they fixed that?
Yeah. I was like, obviously for the children, there was no blood.
Hey, Dad, I didn't laugh at that trailer.
Because of you.
Because of you.
I was like, that's really funny, kid.
That's funny.
He was like, keep working on your tight five, kid.
Kid, I hope your father takes you to go to see all those movies. Now that he knows that you're a comedian.
Yeah. That was really funny.
What else did I want to say about this weekend? Or did we do anything else other than
no,
see movies?
I feel like last weekend we just ran around like crazy.
We went to see a concert last night.
We did. We went to go see Covenant, which I love. They're one of those crazy industrial bands that I'm into.
Yeah.
So we went down to some warehouse in downtown LA.
Literally a warehouse.
Literally a warehouse to go see this show. And it was fun. It's kind of one of those things that I haven't been to a show like that in so long. I mean, that's literally all I did from like the time I was about 18 to the time I was about 21 was just go to these fucking shows. Yeah. And I haven't been to one in so long. So I'm like...
the last time we went to one was one for
V&V Nation.
V&V.
But I mean, like, I used to go, like, I'm talking like 3-4 shows a month.
Yeah, no. Back in
the day, I'm sure.
Back in the late 90s, early aughts, I was, you're just like me, you were young and just like, fuck, I'll go to shows.
Yeah.
A
lot of times it was like, here, would you like to pay $5 to go see this show? And I was like, yes, I do. And I mean, like, that's literally all I did with my time.
Go to shows.
Yeah, I went to so many shows.
I did all sorts of metal shows in Buffalo, and I would just be all around there. And it's like, oh, I got this show, I got that show.
Yeah, I was always at these goth industrial shows and stuff. So I haven't done it in a long time. And back then it was like, well, what am I going to wear? I gotta wear something. I don't have any of my shit anymore. No. All my goth shit's gone because I'm, almost fucking 40.
Not that stops people. Not that
stopped people, because I was like, oh my God, we're like the old people here. And then I was like, no, we're not. There are tons of old people here.
No, it was all old people.
There were a couple young people, but most of them were like people our age. And I was like, oh, we're fine. But some of them were like, we are dedicated to the life. We are going to wear the gear. Like everybody got kitted up and they went out. Mm-hmm. Basically, but not everybody, because there were people like us who were just like, we're in jeans. We're the old people.
We were wearing black.
I did. I had a shirt that had a cape on it. It was pretty great. I love my cape shirt. But yeah, so we were there, and it was good. It was fun, and it was enjoyable. Covenant doesn't come to the U.S. a ton, so it was kind of nice to see them.
Yeah,
I've never seen them before.
Really?
Yeah, never seen Covenant before, because they don't come here that often. They're from like Sweden or something.
Did you get your fill?
I did get my fill. I think the only thing that was a pain in the ass for me is, holy fuck, did my feet start hurting.
Yeah.
Because I had shitty shoes on, and that was a mistake.
Well, that also, too, the second band that we saw, this band called Grendel.
I had never seen Grendel before, so I'd never heard them either.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't bad. I think this is something that maybe if I the sound was a little funky for me.
Well, it's just loud.
It was super loud. We wore earplugs because, we're old. But there was also like a reverb on the vocals. Yeah. Especially for Grendel. So I don't know if it was they did that or where we were standing.
We were standing on the side of the stage. I think maybe we were standing in front of it. It
might have been different. So it was kind of hard to hear. Like he would stop and talk to the audience and it would be like, yeah. It was this weird thing. Yeah. So that was kind of difficult. But I was like, maybe I can check them out later. But anyway, you were saying.
I was just going to say, like, that was like a thing too, where the band just kept on playing, but for some reason the singer kept saying like he'd get to the end of the song and he'd say but he wouldn't be, the song wouldn't be over. He'd be like, thank you or whatever, or he'd start talking.
Yes,
and then everybody you'd start clapping and cheering, and then they go into
there's 30 more seconds of song.
There's a whole bunch of song, and it's like it got to the point where I felt they were playing like so long.
Yes,
and I was like, I don't know if they're done.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll never be done.
That was the thing, because when we got towards the end, I was like, this has to be the last song. It has to be. Then and I don't know if the guy was just like super excited because he was like, hey LA, how you doing? Everybody was like, yay. And then like literally asked us that every fucking song. How you doing LA? We're like, we are doing the same. The last 5 minutes you asked us, we're still the same.
Oh man.
Thumbs up. But he would like do the song and he'd be like, thank you. And everybody start clapping. And then he'd keep singing the same song. And I was like, wait, it's not over. So you never knew when to start clapping, unless he just says thank you in every song. I don't know. I don't know much about them. So that was kind of a weird. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he's
how you doing in LA? It's like you have to ask, because somebody's like, I changed. I'm sad now.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are great, LA. Let me introduce everybody. Let's play another song and let me introduce them again.
I was like, we already met these people.
Yeah,
I already know who that guy is.
Neil on keys. Neil on. I'm like, I got it. Neil on keys.
Yay!
Good,
thank you,
bro.
Neil. Yeah, Neil's great.
He was very excited. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about them, so I don't know. Maybe this is the only show they're playing in the U.S.
It might be.
Maybe they were super psyched to be on with Covenant. I don't know, because Covenant's a big band. So I don't know. It was an experience though, so that was kind of fun.
Jen and Sean's Goth Adventures.
I really liked it. I liked to just sit around. Like literally, people would walk by me and I'd be like, "I love everything you're wearing. You look fucking fantastic." There was like this guy, literally head to toe in white, and I was like, "That's the gothest fucking thing I've ever seen."
He actually was the guy with long hair, right?
Yeah.
He looked like John Lennon when he's wearing all that white. And I was like, "Oh, is that Jesus?"
And I was just kind of like, you know what? That's the fucking gothest thing I've ever seen. Everybody else here in black, and you're walking around head to toe in white.
That's pretty funny.
I love it.
I guess I like that's how you become more goth, is by wearing all white.
You've transcended.
Because it's something where like you walk around with a certain confidence.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, fuck it, I'm wearing white. And everybody's like, oh shit, that guy's so goth.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, man, you're really going for it.
You went completely around the color spectrum.
He really did. He was like, this is, I got this arc. I was really excited about that, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot more reading lately, because I've been going through that stack that we got from the book fair last time.
Yes.
And there's been some doozies in there. We're actually going to read another one from this stack.
Oh man.
Which is exciting, because I'm actually like, oh, okay, I'll read through this. If it sucks, I get rid of it. And if we're going to do it, we're going to do it, and then we'll move on. But it's interesting. It's I don't know. It's keeping me interested. I've read a few things, so I'm happy about that. And I also watched John Morrison's movie, the wrestler John Morrison.
That looked like it was shot on an iPhone.
It probably was. A movie called Boone the Bounty Hunter.
Boo.
And it's just...
He never wore sleeves.
I think I can almost confirm. I don't think he wore a single sleeve. Not even a short sleeve.
Yeah, no sleeves. Everything had the sleeves ripped off.
Either he was sleeveless or shirtless.
Yeah.
Because he's, John Morrison, and he is, in the best shape.
Sure.
And he does parkour and stuff, and he's really talented, but yeah.
Yeah, but when your character is sitting in a boardroom, you should probably have sleeves.
Well, he wasn't parkouring either, so I was bored.
It was really weird, because he's like just sitting there in a boardroom, and it was just like he's just wearing like a vest.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a weird. There's
a weird
also
movie.
too. What's the deal? Is like the idea is that he's a bounty hunter, like Dog's bounty hunter, but like he's a TV guy, TV bounty hunter. So, and for some reason, instead of like finding real criminals, he just hunts down like celebrities or like random ass people that do like petty crimes, or just have like too many parking tickets that they haven't paid.
Yeah,
and he'll like backflip on them and shit because he just starts chasing like Kevin Sorbo. And then
I just love the idea that somebody's just standing there and somebody just backflips into them.
No, that's the thing. Like he'll chase after them, like because Kevin Sorbo,
which means he would have to walk up to that person, turn around, and then flip on them.
Well, usually he's flipping off of something else.
I just love the idea of like somebody just being like, "Oh wait, there's that guy. Walk, 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 turn, flip."
Yeah, but no, he like does a lot of things where he does like corkscrew dives on people, and I'm like, you're gonna kill these people.
Yep.
Like you should might as well go to jail. But it's on Netflix. Check it out if you're so inclined. So let's take our break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about our book for this week.
R. What's that stand for? Robin.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob Myers, and I'd like to invite you to check out my podcast called Robin. Everyone loves the Drake.
Rob, are you going to take out the trash?
I'm right in the middle of recording an ad for my podcast. I'll do it in just a little bit, okay?
Sorry to interrupt Boy Wonder time.
Boy Wonder? I'm all man, lady.
Rob?
Okay, where was I? That's right. My podcast, Robin, Everyone Loves the Drake. It'll be hosted over at thebatmanuniverse.net. I'll be covering Tim Drake's origin story from the very beginning, starting with Tim's first appearance in Batman 436, also known as Batman Year 3, and hopefully going all the way through the Robin ongoing series, starting with issue 1 and going all the way to issue 183. 183 issues? Wow. Well, it's a good thing, because everyone loves the Drake.
You don't like the Drake?
Hate the Drake.
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Secret Weapons, number 4 from December 1993. This is our first ever Valiant Comics book that we've done on the show, which I'm surprised that it's taken us this long to get to a Valiant Comics
Me too.
feature. It is, well, it's also because we got that big stack of books from the book fair,
Yes.
and there's a whole mess of Valiant Comics in there, a lot of Archer and Armstrongs, a lot of stuff in there that, a lot of Valiant Comics that I've often passed over the years, because this is the thing about Valiant Comics for me, is that I've never looked at a Valiant comic and been like, oh my god, that looks awesome, I'm gonna read it. Like, it always looks like it's a bunch of like average dudes farting around. Maybe it's because I only see Archer and Armstrong comics, and those are always those are just two dudes wearing, like, one dude's bald and the other dude has a hat, and I don't know what the frig they do, but I don't really care.
Right.
I mean, I know Valiant's got Exo Man-O-War, and it's got Solar, the Man of the Atom, Ninjak. It's got a whole bunch of characters. Turok, I think. It's got a whole bunch of characters, really, really interesting characters that I probably, if I gave a shot, I would be really interested. It'd be really interesting, but it's hard to, for me to maintain my interest. So,
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't read Valiant Comics typically.
Clearly, no.
No.
Neither of us do. But yeah, here we are with a Valiant Comics, and
I would not have bought this.
No.
Under any circumstance, had it not been in a grab bag.
No, that's the thing. There's Valiant Comics like up the wazoo in all the boxes that we look at.
Yeah.
Yet I've never.
They're not still around, right?
No, they are technically.
Didn't they bring back Exo Man-O-War recently?
Yeah,
wasn't that a thing that happened?
Valiant Comics is still, I think, because what happened was
Sure, we've never read Exo Man-O-War. I feel like we may have read him a couple of years ago. You sure?
I'm pretty positive this. Okay. I'm positive this is our first one.
Okay.
Like, there's been like some Image Comics we've done.
Yes.
But this is our first foray into that, because Exo Man-O-War is, his name is showing up, like he's crossover with Iron Man. There's stuff that he's been involved. Like, they've done crossovers before.
Okay.
But with regard to Valiant, so at one point they got acquired by Acclaim, the video game company, to kind of like use those properties to maybe create video games. Mm-hmm. There was a Turok game, but they had other games.
You mean the dinosaur one?
Yeah, the Dinosaur Hunter one.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was for N64, probably PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember that I think it was the N64. A friend of mine had it.
Yeah.
And I used to just go over there when I had a really bad day and just play Turok, because you just get to murder dinosaurs.
Pretty much.
It's kind of fun.
I can't think if I've played it before. That was, one of the things they did. And then eventually Acclaim went out of business. I think Acclaim's out of business.
Oh, I don't know.
Then they went back to the reverse, reverted back to whoever, was running Valiant, and they've restarted the comics. Like, so and it's been around for a while, and I know they talk about it. There's been talk about movie properties and stuff.
Right. Because I know a couple of years ago, there was a big thing where they were going to relaunch all this stuff.
And I think they did.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Again, this is something where, we're so Marvel and DC orientated, so we don't pay attention to some of these other happenings. Mm-hmm. Even though maybe it's worth our time. I don't know. It might be. Yeah. However, though,
this is not worth our time.
Well, no. We got this for free, so we're gonna fart around with it
for like 18 cents or something.
Yeah. So the story. So the cover has a character. Fuck! I just read his thing. What is his name?
Great question. I don't remember his
Stronghold.
Name. Oh, okay.
So, because I did have the information up, so I can know who some of these people are.
Yeah, because we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so there's Stronghold, who is this big...
He's a guy who can touch things and absorb their mass.
Yeah, he absorbs...
And then he grows bigger.
He grows bigger, and he's on the cover here, and he's absorbed all the mass, and he is shredding out of his outfit, which basically...
which I think is actually very funny, because the Hulk, as we know, when he gets big, everything else rips but his pants.
Yeah.
This guy's not so lucky.
I always remember this, there's this comedian who did a joke about that. Like, I was watching, like, MTV, like, comedy, like 1992. Mm-hmm. And there was this comedian that was like, he's like, the Hulk, his pants rip, but all that's left is that small area around his crotch. It's like, how do we know how big of a man he really is? Like, I don't know. There's
jokes.
Probably a better punchline, but so this happens to this guy though. He looks like basically like if Hank Pym were on Boy Meets World, and he had like basically has like a Hank an original Giant Man outfit, but with the hair exposed.
Yeah, it's one of those cowls that's got hair. Yeah, it's the total floppy 90s hair. It's one of those cowls that covers his face but not his hair.
Yeah.
Kind of also has like sunglasses built into it, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like sunglasses. It's baby blue.
Yeah, it's a bunch of weird. It's a bunch of white, yellow.
He's literally just busting out of it all over. Like, he's got veins, really gross veins. Like, it's like John Cena veins. And, like, just busting out everywhere. You can see his butt cheek. He's, like, kind of crouched because it's, like, the cover can't contain him.
Yeah, he's kind of squat.
Yeah. And the way he's drawn, it actually looks like he's shitting out his own leg.
It's true. I think you're not wrong.
He really does look like he is shitting out would that be his left leg?
Yeah.
And then there's a little tiny guy right down there.
Well, you can see, because you got Solar, the Man of the Atom.
Who's very tiny.
He's there, and he's doing something, and I believe this is Livewire. Mm-hmm. And then I think this is Geomancer, because that's the group called the Secret Weapons.
Yeah.
Because basically, okay, so here's the premise of the book, is that Secret Weapons is like...
a member of this group called Harbinger?
A Harbinger. So Harbingers are like... Remember how we read that Malibu comic with the Nightman, and there were the... oh shit, they had a name for them, but
like a group.
Yeah, and they called them a bunch of things, and they're like basically like the superhumans of that universe.
Right.
And
that's what this is.
And basically that's what Harbingers are.
Yeah.
But they have a group of like basically this is like the Avengers of that, because these are other characters that have their own books or have their own stories, and eventually this team features other people of that nature.
Sure.
But it's not really like a priority.
Yeah.
Because at least with Valiant, I've always noticed that like the solo titles are always a priority, at least in my mind, because you have Solar, you got Man of War, you got Shadow Man, you got all these different guys. Mm-hmm. But this is, basically like their team book. However, though, and this is also another thing about Valiant, like their colors are always, I always feel like they're always using like this ugly yellow. Like, I feel like this is a comic, like the color schemes of these comics are just bleh.
Yeah.
It's
a little mustardy.
Yeah, it's mustard.
Yeah.
Mustard comics. So the story is called Mass Hysteria, and we start off with...
And whatever must have happened last issue. So what is this guy's Solar or whatever?
This is Solar. And he's...
and he is basically in like a red suit with a cowl that goes up over his head, kind of like it's a hood.
He looks like basically, if you've ever seen Solar, he looks like Cyclops.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. And he's got like the Cyclops visor.
Yeah.
And he has like the nuclear sign.
Because he's the Man of the Atom.
Right there on his chest. And it's just all red.
Yeah.
And he is in some laboratory, the Harbinger laboratory, but it's in Dallas.
Yeah.
And he is knocking some woman backwards because he can like make her levitate.
Yeah.
Some shit has gone down because there's like fire and broken shit. Mm-hmm. And these two people who must work there, I'm assuming they're government people, like calling and freaking out, being like, oh my God, he's here. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Then they're filming this on a camera, like a big, like a studio camera. Somebody, I'm assuming it's Solar, says, is that your boss? And then he like turns into a rainbow and goes into the phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So then this doctor comes running up to be like, oh my God, did you see that? And they're just like, go away, dumb doctor. Go back to playing with your corpses and your mentally ill patients. You're not supposed to be here. I'm like, but he just saw this whole thing go down.
Yeah.
Why are you treating him like garbage? Whatever. So they send him back to his little like Arkham Asylum-esque basement.
Yeah, for some reason he just lives at. I mean, is this Solar? Like, because Solar apparently
Solar's gone, and he's like, oh, so the Solar went into the phone, but this doctor, for some reason, he's like, he is everywhere. He must be in my mind. He's making me crazy. No, wait, he is making me sane. And this guy's like just going through this thing. So he's like going around, and you see like his patients. He's like, are you in your, is he in you? He's in me.
Yeah.
He's in everyone. He's like, I know how to fix it. So he goes into where the cadavers are.
Oh yeah, we get some cadaver action here.
And he's like, I'll fix it.
Well, I want to say real quick. So there's they have, for some reason, this cadaver in this morgue room or whatever. There's this statue of basically of the thinker.
Right, and it's just there.
But he's there, but that's where they keep some tools, because you see like a scalpel and a scissors sticking out of the top of its head.
Where? Oh, yeah.
You see that? Mm-hmm. And then there's like brains everywhere. And
But that's like all the way at the ceiling. How do you even reach that stuff?
I don't know. It's very high up. It looks very inconvenient. So this doctor's like, "Oh my god, I must be. I think I'm sane, but you're making me think things, whatever." It's like, I'll find my answers here amongst my drugs and cadavers.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, all right, bro. So he basically iZombies this.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
So he takes a piece of this cadaver brain.
Does he eat it?
Yes, because it's like you don't see what he does, but then you see it like coming out of his mouth.
Oh, he's having a juicy brain.
Yeah, he's like, if I eat this brain, I will
It's a
like.
weird show.
Yeah, it's basically like iZombie. He's like he thinks he's taking on the power by eating the brain. So then we cut to some harbingers in New York.
Yeah.
In what, Park Slope?
Park Slope, which actually it's from when I lived there for my MTV internship, I was told that was a nice area.
Well, Park Slope's a very nice area. Now
that was probably super hip as shit.
Yeah, it's super hip as shit. That's why, but like there's like a building where like shit's cracking and like it's all crappy. I'm like, you won't find that now.
No.
This is 93. So we have Livewire.
So Livewire is the girl in the she's the
This
girl.
is her apartment.
Her apartment.
She just bought.
And this is Geomancer. So Geomancer, Livewire, and this is Stronghold. So they're all there. And
Yeah, so they're all there, and they're all renovating her apartment.
Yeah.
And so she like Stronghold rips out the carpet. She's gonna like pull all the nails together, so she like
she has magnetic powers.
Yeah, she magnetos them. And Stronghold like rips a wall down.
Yeah, he just kind of grabs a whole wall by like he just kind of grabs it.
Yeah.
Even though it was like nothing there to grab, he's just like, fuck it, I'll just grab it.
And so then there's a whole pile of like carpet and wood, and he's like, I'll absorb it. And he absorbs it, and then he just like rips all of his clothing.
Yeah.
Because he gets big. And they're like, oh no, why'd you do that? He was like, oh, I didn't mean to absorb that much or something. Or like, he's still not sure exactly how much mass he can absorb.
Yeah.
Before he gets like ridiculously huge. So.
And it takes him a few hours for it to kind of like dissipate.
Yeah, it's kind of like
him less huge.
Yeah, so he's like really big, and apparently all of his clothes are ripped. So they're like, you stay here in the apartment.
Also, he's got a date.
Yeah, because he's got to get small. I mean, like, he doesn't get huge, but I mean, like, he gets like...
He gains a little bit of mass.
He gets huge enough that if he were to go outside, people would be like, what the fuck?
He does a little bit... It's like he did
He'd be like an Andre the Giant guy.
Yeah, he goes out and he does a little bit of HGH, and he gets gets a huge... I mean, shit.
He gets shoulder neck.
You're lucky. I mean, shit. I mean, if you did think this guy would be popular amongst, the athletes of the era.
Yeah.
Figure out how to get huge.
He could get huge.
Making gains.
So they're like, you stay here, we're going to go get you some clothes so you can make your date. And then the doctor's like watching.
So there's a doctor, like from the harbinger doctor.
It's the guy who ate the brain.
Oh, is it the brain eater?
It's the brain eater. You don't find that out until the end where he's holding a brain.
Oh, this is the same guy. I didn't put that together.
It took me a while to put. I was like, is this the same guy?
The Dr. Brain Eater.
It's
nice.
Dr. Brain Eater.
It's my favorite horror movie. Dr. Brain Eater. So he's like kind of like stalking the beef Stronghold. And he's like,
yeah. He's like, what up?
He's going on a date, and literally at one point he's watching him walk down the street, and Stronghold's like do 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 do, like you get to see him.
Yeah, he actually says dum dum de dum.
Dum dum de dum.
And this guy's like, what up, Stronghold? And so he goes to this coffee shop or whatever where the waitress works, who's his girlfriend, and he's like, I brought you a flower. And she's like, oh, thanks. And she's like, okay, well, let me go, freshen up and clock out, whatever. Sit here, have your coffee.
Yeah.
And I'll be out in a couple minutes. And he's like, okay, cool.
Is he drinking the coffee here?
Yes.
It looks like he's holding it kind of weird. It looks like he's kind of holding it with his ring finger.
Yeah, I'm assuming again in Andre the Giant, like trying to hold a regular sized cup when you are massive. But he's like singing again because he's kind of dumb.
He is kind of dumb.
And he looks out the window, and then he turns his head, and the doctor looks at him because the doctor's sitting at the window.
Doctor's having a stalk.
He's stalking this guy.
He's like, "Can I have a plate of brain, please?"
Yeah, and this is not the place they went last issue or last episode where we're talking about the restaurant with all the onions.
Oh, I wish you
This
could.
is not the.
Well, you're lucky because
this is
this
not
dude.
the. Thanks God, it's prison restaurant.
You lucky he didn't. He didn't go there because he would have absorbed all those onion fries. He would
Oh
have become
man,
massive.
would have been like Bender when he becomes human?
Yes.
and he gets fat.
He kind of looks like him.
He kind
He
of
kind of looks like a little bit like a human Bender.
He really does.
He's got blonde hair,
Actually,
at
you're
least.
right. He really does. He's like, well, why didn't people tell me tasty things tasted so good? So all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, guy sitting by the window, do I know you?" And he's like, "Oh, you work for Harbinger." Now I'm assuming Harbinger's like top secret or whatever, but apparently not. Because guy's like, yeah, Harbinger, that's cool. I'm a member of Harbinger.
Yeah. See, apparently in the Valiant universe, Harbinger is like, it's a corporation that's been created, but it's kind of evil.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
so basically we're going back and forth trying to figure out how to deal with that shit. I am probably way off on all this Valiant stuff,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
you could fill in your own blanks.
Yeah,
but that's how I
Valiant.
when I read about it, that's how I figured it out.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, yeah, so what do you do there?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a doctor." He's like, "That's cool. That's cool." Like literally just talking business.
And literally he does what is it, the Princess Bride when they're doing the poison thing?
Oh yeah, he really
He's
does.
like, "Hey, look." He's like, "Hey, look over." I can't remember the line. But he's like, "Hey, look over there." What? Oh, and then he switches stuff and
And he puts poison in this guy's coffee.
puts poison in this guy's coffee.
The doctor puts poison in Stronghold's coffee.
And he's like, "Dirt."
He goes, "Look, is that your girlfriend?" He goes, "Huh? Oh yeah, that's my girlfriend." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." So
Hey,
then,
it's 1993. She'd been like, "Hey, is that Eddie Vedder?"
sure. And the girlfriend's like, "You ready?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go. Nice talking to you, weird, creepy doctor." And he just like chugs the rest of his coffee and walks out.
And he gets this really creepy panel
And he's
here.
talking to Albert, who I'm assuming is the owner of the brain.
Ooh, Albert.
I'm guessing, right? That makes sense.
Albert the brain.
And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." So he goes to like grab his jacket and he accidentally absorbs it.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's weird." And then they go out and he has like this T-bird.
Yeah.
This sweet car. He's like, "Yeah, I got it on my 21st birthday. Isn't it great?" And then he absorbs the door. Because he's like, "Well, we're going to go to dinner at Tavern on the Green, and then we're going to go see Peter Gabriel."
Yeah. We're going to go see Peter Gabriel.
And
93, Peter Gabriel's doing pretty good in
dude,
93.
I'd still go see Peter Gabriel today.
That was, it wasn't Sledgehammer, obviously. It was, what was that one?
Oh, I don't
It was the one about the song Steam.
Yes.
Remember that
Yes,
song?
I do.
Yeah, so I think that was around that time.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd go see Peter Gabriel now.
Yeah, I'd fuck with Peter Gabriel. Especially, I'd fuck with Peter Gabriel 93.
Yeah, sure.
Go
I'd
see
fuck
that.
with Peter Gabriel now. Why not?
Fuck yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, I gotta go home," and she's like, "Oh, you're presumptive." Maybe
Yeah.
later. He's like, "No, really, I gotta go home," and he shoves her out of the car.
Oh, that's what he does.
And he just shoves her out of the car, and he peels out, just leaves her.
He goes, "My microwave was on." Leaves.
Yeah, I mean, and she's like, "What the fuck, man?" And he's just like, "Oh my god, I could have absorbed her. This is terrible." And then he absorbs his car,
He absorbs a car while driving it.
which is kind of fun.
Pretty funny.
And he's like, "Oh no," and his clothes are just shredding. And so we cut back to Livewire and Geomancer. They're eating popcorn and watching TV.
They're watching The Amazing Colossal Man.
And they're like,
because
"Man, wouldn't Storm..." What's his name again?
Jim,
No.
Stronghold?
Stronghold. I was like, Stormhold? No. Stronghold would love this show.
Yeah.
And then he shows up at the apartment. They let him in, and he's big. And so he like comes in, and then he starts absorbing everything. He absorbs the TV. He absorbs the whole front of the building, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing also, too, about Valiant Comics. There's like a lot of in-house ads.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. He absorbs the whole front of the building and punches through the ceiling into the apartment above.
Ruins their apartment.
And the foot goes through the floor. And so they're like, "Oh my God, we got to get you out of here because you're going to bring this whole building down."
I don't know how he would get out at this point because he's
Well,
basically
he absorbed the whole front of the building.
Oh,
so
so he
now
can
there's
just
just
kinda-
a whole fucking hole, and he can just jump right out.
This is a terrifying situation.
It really is. It's
because
upsetting.
you have because you're a superhero that can absorb mass, but then like you don't really know how to control it, or something's causing you to go get all fucked up. So now you're running wild through the streets, just accidentally absorbing things and just ripping apart. Like he's ripping apart this building. That sucks.
Yeah, because you just can't control it.
That's how I feel like if like all of a sudden I learned how to absorb mass, like if that was
Oh
my
my god,
power,
what a disaster!
it would just be. And first of all, I mean, I don't know, understand like why does he have by absorbing mass? Does he also get like sweet abs and shit, or how come he just?
I think he already has sweet abs. I think his body just grows.
Okay, so that would just continue to grow to be the same gelatinous man.
Yeah, I think his body just maintains the same proportions and same structure. It just gets bigger.
Right.
So they're like, oh my god, come on, we got to go in the park. And he's basically like, all he has is like a thong on.
Yeah, he's got a
now.
jean thong on.
And then we go into the park and we're just like, hey, you know what this book needs? The threat of rape.
Yeah.
Because here's this girl just walking through the park and they're like, here's some street toughs. They're going to rape her. And you're like, oh, maybe we didn't need that. We could have just needed, it's terrifying enough to have Giant Man. We don't need this. But he literally just comes up over the tree line because he's so big at this point. And everyone's like, what? And he kicks these
Does
kids.
he kick them? Because
I don't know. It says punt. I'm assuming the bodies are flying.
Yeah, so those people are dead.
Oh, absolutely.
Those guys are dead.
Those guys are 100% dead right now.
Because I somehow it's in the middle of the night and nobody realizes this giant man. I mean, granted, I guess it must be late enough at night where this is happening, or maybe it's not because it's he went on a date.
Right, he just picked her up. And they were going to go to a concert. I'm assuming doors were probably at 8.
Peter Steele, the opening band is there. Probably some fucking
For Peter Gabriel.
Drama-rama or something.
Sure.
And
so, I mean, it's got to be pretty early. We're talking it's probably around 8 o'clock at night.
Well, yeah. So we're so he, and thankfully though, Geomancer and is it Livewire?
I don't know what her name is. It doesn't matter.
She uses the guy because she stops this attack with using this guy's chain after his friends are punted. So he helps stop that. Mm-hmm. But then this huge naked man is just running around.
Yeah, because he's to the point where she's like, oh my god, are you okay, to this girl? And she's like, I have to leave. I can't believe any of this is happening right now.
Yeah.
I was almost horribly raped, and now there's a giant man wandering around who just booted my attackers into the sun.
That's a terrible evening.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's really upsetting. So, but he's completely naked, so he's holding a bus in front of his privates.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, here's a place you can hide. And she's like, you got to go in the East River. And he's like, you want me to actually go in there? That's disgusting. And she's like, well, you got to go in there because where else are you going to hide?
But I'm surprised you just didn't absorb all the water. Because
I think he starts absorbing stuff because he gets even bigger.
Yeah.
So he goes in the East River. And she's like, stop touching stuff. I don't really think he has a choice. What if he's just walking? I'm sure there's garbage all over the bottom of that river.
Yeah.
Right? Or a fish swims by.
Oh, he's absorbing fish.
He's like an Aquaman.
Oh no, he absorbed Aquaman.
Oh no, he absorbed Aquaman. Jason Momoa, come back.
Jason Momoa. There's just a a super cut of Jason Momoa being like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna do a backflip into the water," and then he does.
He just gets absorbed.
And he just gets absorbed by this guy's crotch.
Well, luckily, it's not horrifying where all the stuff he absorbs is sticking out of him.
Yeah. He just absorbs oh god,
that would be even more. Wouldn't that be
he just
disgusting?
has a car sticking out of him.
Really?
He's like,
It would just be if you just covered things in silly putty. So at least
he just has all these benches and
so you just see Jason Momoa broken and sticking out of him
just bro, help me out.
In Bright.
Yeah.
Where that girl's half in a wall. Yeah, that's really, really gross.
Oh man, stay class. Thanks for being respectful there, Valiant Comics.
Yeah.
I gotta say, there is some crazy shit going on in this book, but it's not oh fuck, this is horrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean, the idea is horrifying.
Well, the idea that he punted those dudes, those dudes. I mean, yeah,
they deserved it.
They deserved it because they're shitty, but. those bodies definitely landed somewhere where
That's
they
the
were
thing.
not. Somebody was not expecting.
Right, they were just like do walking, and some dude just came down from the heavens and like fucking died a horrible death on a picnic table
Or they got
In front
impaled
of
on
children.
something, or there's something going on where like
into somebody's car.
yeah, like you're coming out in the morning and you're like, because now like SVU needs to figure this shit out.
Yeah, how this
Ice-T
guy?
needs to be
where did
like,
this guy come
you
from?
telling me that some giant man punted another man into this car?
And that's all he had. They only give him like one line an episode, and that's it. And then Ice-T can leave.
Yeah, Ice-T made his money, and then they solved it,
Yeah.
and that was it. But
So he's now out kind of in the oceanish area,
yeah,
and he is huge. I mean, they're saying like he must weigh like how many millions of tons, like 10 million tons or something.
he's out by like Long Island.
Yeah. And
So,
don't they
like-
say like he weighs like 10 million tons or something?
A few
A
million.
few million tons.
That's really big, and you know what?
It's
that
huge.
if he weighs that much, like he probably should be like crushing through the earth.
Well, that's why it's the only place you can put him is in the water.
Right, but I mean, he can
'Cause
still
he
go
would,
to the
like-
ocean floor.
He would probably collapse. Like gravity would crush him.
Right. You should be going through the ocean floor now and just absorbing the entire earth. Mm-hmm. So as this is happening, like he's just laying there, like
Like in the water.
in the water.
And he's all gold now too, which is
yeah,
weird.
because it's like he keeps like when he absorbs stuff, there's like a gold
Oh, that's right.
glow or something. So like he just keeps doing it. It looks like he's burping it here.
Yeah, and they're like, he's gonna be like a balloon, and if he absorbs any more, he's going to explode.
Right. And so thankfully, our friend and I'm assuming member of Secret Weapons, Solar, shows
Yeah.
back up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the man of the atom, so like,
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna like,
I got this shit.
I'm gonna take care of this shit." And it's just like he's just laying there, and Stronghold's like, "Am I dying?"
And the answer is yes.
I think this would be me.
Yeah.
I would just be like, ah, They'd be like, Sean, you're huge. I'm like, I know, stop, no.
And the answer is yes, you were dying. So Solar's like, hang on just a little bit more. And so he like touches him and converts that absorbing all the stuff he's absorbed, like the mass, into energy.
Yeah,
And he just shoots it into space.
nice.
Because they're like, where is it going to go? And he's like, I know, space.
Yeah, fuck it, throw it in space.
Which is basically like the comic book dumping ground.
Did you notice
If
that?
you don't know where you want to put shit, put it in space.
Did you notice, actually, real quick, in Infinity War? So, like, okay, they did this a lot in these other other Marvel movies, where they'd be like, "Here's the location." They just show you locations like Moscow or
Yeah.
London, and at one point they're in. They show the Guardians. It just says space,
Space.
so he's throwing it into space too.
I mean, that's comic book dumping ground, space.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he shoots all this shit into space.
yeah,
And then we get from Stronghold's perspective, like everybody coming into focus
yeah,
because and he's like, oh man, I'm coming too. And he's a normal size again. And then they have this drawing of him like from behind
yeah,
where he looks like a Ken doll with like a booty.
yeah. It's got a great ass.
Look at that ass.
It's got a great Harbinger ass.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, you're alive. And he's like, man, thanks, Solar. That's so great.
So, and then as that's happening, Solar's like, look, you had like drugs in you, so like I shot them out into space.
Yeah. He's like, I don't do drugs. And he's like,
of course,
he's like, oh, wait, it was that doctor I must have saw at the cafe. He must have put something in my coffee.
Dr. Brain Eater. He's like, we got to find Dr. Brain Eater.
Yeah.
And Dr. Brain Eater's like, well, you think you may, he's high. And so he's still there, but he's been following this. So he's just standing behind a rock, just kind of paying attention. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you think you've won? Well, the Harbingers.
Well, because what happens is he's like, he saw this whole thing go down, and then he like sees how the media had covered it. Instead of being, oh my God, the Harbingers, we have to stop them. People are like, it was just a machine, pitching an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or it was just like a fucking lie. Nobody believed it. Like that sort of stuff.
This is how you promote. Wait, that's how you promote
Well, that's what they're.
I know what they
he says
say.
that- I know, but that's what he says, and so he gets all pissed because he's like, nobody believes me. He's like, screw you, brain. Like, and he's holding the brain he was eating because he was cutting pieces of it. He's like, screw you, brain.
Oh, man, I bet he does it to all of his food.
This is like Homer.
Oh, Sandwich, how can I be mad at you?
Yeah, or like when his brain is like, shut up, brain. Like when his brain's trying to tell him stuff.
Oh, liver, no, punch. Actually, I bet this guy yells at his other food. He probably just picks up like goes to like
Chipotle,
and he's just like, "Fuck you, burrito."
You don't know anything, burrito.
This burrito, like he's yelling at his food again. This guy's weird. No wonder he's in the.
It's the guy who yells at his food. Like, I helped him last time. You help him. I don't want to help him. He's always yelling at something. Last time was the beans.
I've yelled at Arby's a few times. Actually, no, I haven't. I don't go to Arby's.
No, but if you did,
It's time to start coming clean. I don't go to Arby's regularly.
I think you would yell at Arby's, but it would be after you ate the Arby's.
Yeah,
because then you would be so sick.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a scenario I can see myself going to.
Yeah.
Usually if I'm talking to food, I'm like, "Oh, Jersey Mike's, you're the best."
I know you and your Jersey Mike.
having a yelly eat.
You love your Jersey Mikes.
So, but yeah, I also like this idea that the media has decided that it was not only a mechanical man,
but it was a movie.
But it was
promotion.
a movie promotion, so we're 91. 93.
Yeah.
So, Last Action Hero?
Sure, why not?
We're promoting here.
Well, why would it be a naked Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, unless you're promoting another Terminator.
I am naked. My giant penis is going to promote my new film. Jingle all the way.
That gives that movie a whole different meaning.
Jingle all the way.
Jingling all the way.
Jingle all the way to my giant penis.
Gross.
Which is promoting this movie.
Ew.
The Last Action Hero is a important movie about my giant penis. We will create shitty video games, NES games for this movie. It's a better promotion instead of a giant man in the ocean. Come see my movie.
It's a really good Arnold bit.
I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I feel like I'm not doing a terrible Arnold.
No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
It's not the best Arnold.
No, but it's not the worst.
Get to the giant man.
Good Lord.
Get him to a chopper.
I knew it was coming.
I was trying to figure a way to work that in.
I know. I'm very proud.
I did it. Hasta la vista, giant man in water.
Well, that's kind of what this doctor does. He's like, hasta la vista, brain. And he's like,
he throws it.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you, brain. I have my own plan. I'm like, how do you explain that? Like, somebody just.
Oh, that was your lunch.
But somebody's like walking around and they find a human brain and just like, how do you explain that?
Yeah, that would suck if you worked in that place and you're just like, oh, I gotta go to work. Ew, somebody threw a brain.
Then you have to call the cops and you have to be like, so I was walking down the street and I just happened upon a human brain.
Oh, wait, does he do this on the street?
I don't know where he is.
I think he's in, like, you can't really tell where he is, but
I can't tell. But he just like throws the brain.
He's in the. Wait, oh no, he's like, I think he leaves his lair because he's outside. Now he's outside in an alley, but like you can't really tell where he's.
I know, I can't tell where he threw the brain.
Where he's at. He just throws a brain.
Yeah, because how do you explain that?
He's like, fuck you, brain.
Do you think the cops are going to believe you when you're like, I just stumbled upon a brain?
That is a CSI episode.
Right?
Ooh, a Forensic Files. I like that.
Or a Forensic Files.
There's somebody's like, well, I heard this guy, he was eating a brain for lunch, and then he threw it. But,
yeah.
Interesting. I'd like to know more about this guy's diet.
I mean, I think you just watch iZombie and that'll tell you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
And that's how the book ends.
Yeah.
We don't know we don't really know what's coming up next issue.
No, it doesn't give us a, next issue,
At least
blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
see anything here.
Wait,
here we go. Secret Weapons. This is number 5. So it's number 4. So number 5, we have another, we have Ninjak's going to be in here, and here's our beefy buddy, and there's the girl, and there's Geomancer, and they're beating up on ninjas.
Okay.
Apparently.
That doesn't help me with the brain.
Well, we're gonna find out more. Because he says, "Forget it, Albert. I got a plan on my own." So maybe next episode, actually,
It's ninjas.
He's like, I'm gonna have ninjas for lunch.
Oh yeah, maybe he's gonna eat a ninja.
I'm gonna eat a ninja.
That's a good idea.
But unfortunately,
he's varying his diet. He's like, I'm tired of this regular brain. Now I want to eat an entire person.
But what's gonna happen is the ninjas are gonna
variety.
The ninjas are gonna attack these people, and the media is gonna cover, and they're gonna be like, that was just a promotion for a new Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah,
and he's gonna get mad.
He's gonna get mad.
He's gonna throw a ninja.
throw a ninja.
That's how every issue of this series ends.
You know what? I think that's correct.
He
I'm
thinks
not going to actually look that up to disprove it.
he thinks of something.
That's a fact now.
He puts it into action. Somebody mistakes it as a movie promotion, and then he throws that thing against the wall.
Yeah, that sounds right.
and then he swears that thing or whatever.
Yeah,
That's how it ends.
He's going to do Cowboys. He's going to throw Cowboy against a wall.
Oh, what movie are you going to promote? Ooh, Tombstone?
Yeah, he's going to be promoting Tombstone.
Or Wyatt Earp?
Yep, that sounds. Or anything with Jeff Bridges in it.
What, in '93 though? He wasn't crazy Jeff Bridges then.
That's true.
We got to think of Jurassic Park, so maybe he throws a dinosaur.
Oh yeah, so maybe he unleashes
Dinosaurs.
the dinosaurs and their DNA.
Trying to think of some good '93 movies.
Do you think he would just throw DNA, or is he throwing a dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
It's like, fuck you, dinosaur.
And just throws it.
I was eating you for lunch.
What else was coming out around then?
Can't remember any '90s. Like,
I don't know. What about the Ninja Turtles? When did that come out?
that was, we were already at I think Turtles 3, so maybe he's throwing Turtles.
He might. Ooh, Turtles dressed as samurai? Because don't they go back in
Yeah,
time?
that was number 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's throwing a turtle dressed as a samurai.
Oh, he's throwing those Playmate action figures.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I just think an actual turtle dressed as a samurai.
Oh.
No, like a ninja turtle.
Oh. Oh, poor turtles. I feel bad for those turtles.
Now I made Sean feel bad.
Oh. Yeah, I like where this is headed. I like this is a good comic. Ooh, and we get a little thing here about San Diego Comic Convention 1993.
Oh man.
Back in the day when it was just the dealers and a bunch of dudes. You see a bunch of pictures here of some just dudes. There's a live performance of some sort. That's how it was back. Except back in the 90s, yeah, you could just like pull out a guitar and just.
Maybe that guy is from the future and he's cosplaying as Elias.
Ooh, yeah, yes. Elias from the future. No, apparently Valiant had a good time. They gave out a bunch of books to people dressed as Valiant characters. There's a trivia contest. And then they got to go look at the Upper Deck Card Factory, which apparently is in that area. And there was a small closing management party featuring Otis Day and the Knights of Animal House fame.
Oh my.
Valiant and Geffen Records also held a drawing for a signed Aerosmith CD. Because 93, we were Aerosmith crazy.
Oh, yes,
you want that Get a Grip. You gotta get to that party.
It was a big deal back then.
Yeah, also, there's other Rye in the Future Force, Bloodshot. I have a Bloodshot. We haven't gotten to yet. Dr. Mirage, The Hard Corpse, Eternal Warrior. Yeah, there's a shit ton of Magnus the Robot Fighter. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff that I feel like maybe might have been worth our time. I don't know.
Sure.
I feel bad because I kind of feel like I should be more open to reading these, but I can't get into it. Because you know what it is? Because every time they're always throwing around, I'm always seeing fucking Archer and Armstrong. So I'm like, get those out of my way.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I don't care about that guy in his stupid newsy hat.
No, nobody does.
Would you want to read the next issue of Secret Weapons?
No.
Yeah, I can't get into it.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Maybe I'll have to see if we have a few other marks.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was a coherent story.
It was silly.
It was silly, but I mean, it wasn't like
not a lot of superhero business going on.
Yeah, it wasn't like, wait, what's going on? Who's that guy? It was. I mean, it was a coherent like this thing happened and this thing happened and this thing happened.
Pretty much.
So I mean, good for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably won't. Yeah, I'll probably.
I'm
pass
still
on
not going to read it. The next issue.
No. Yeah, I'm not. I have to find another more Valiant comics to kind of see if I'm into them.
Yeah.
From the 90s. I don't know. Maybe I should read an Archer Armstrong. Maybe I'll like it.
Maybe you'll like it.
Maybe I'll like it. Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, folks. You can find myself on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. Find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Email us, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And, of course, go on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get this podcast, and you can rate, review, and subscribe to your platform of choice. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars if you think we deserve it. That would be much appreciated. And also check out I Could Talk Kayfabe with myself and Joe Todaro. We haven't released a new episode in a while. Joe's been moving, and we're trying to get back together and do some more episodes, but we'll get there. So hang around for that. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll talk again soon.
Bye.